So I thought that this time we'd do things a little bit different. We won't concentrate on the story too much. I think you're familiar with the story, and we'll certainly talk about it in class a lot. Of course, you know that I like to make maps, so there's at least one map for this story, and then I'll just show you a bunch of pictures for a bunch of things. So, of course, there's a map for that. This is the map of Jacob coming to visit with Joseph. So he starts out at Hebron. That's where he's been when he sent his boys down, and they keep going back and forth. And when he finally hears the wonderful blessed news of his son, he's going to come down. He's going to stop in Beersheba and make offerings to God. So I did find my pictures from Beersheba, so I thought I'd show you a couple of those. This is just the area around Beersheba. This is taken from where I showed you the picture of that one well. I'll show you again. And this is modern day Beersheba, where there are wells. It's more likely that Abraham and the group were living over there. So there's that well that I was telling you about. There's my son. Anyway, and this is looking down the well, so you get an idea. They dug some pretty deep wells. This is a similar well, similar way of doing it. I think I showed you that well before. Alright, so that's enough of that. That's Bethel again. So, stops at Beersheba and then comes and goes along what they call the ways of Horus, and travels all the way down here to Avaris, which is almost certainly where Jacob is. They're reunited there, and then they'll stay out in Goshen, out in this area. A few other things that are worth seeing some pictures of. I already showed you one picture of a gold necklace, but I don't know if you can see this one. Let's see if we can make this bigger. Let's see here. Yeah, right there. You can see a gold necklace. This is actually on a statue. But you can see a gold necklace there. And here's some more pictures of those greeneries. So you can see the greeneries, 1, 2, 3, and some more out here. So there are some greeneries. I think I showed you that picture already. So that's enough of that. That's a different place. We also have, what was the other thing I was going to show you the picture of? Oh, I thought it was just worth seeing that kind of agriculture in Egypt that we would be talking about. It's an amazingly fertile place, and I'm sure that you can see, I mean, the alfalfa, they grow lettuce like you wouldn't believe, tomatoes like you wouldn't believe, as long as it gets water to it. As soon as the water stops, it's desert. And I love these pictures because not only does it show the kinds of agriculture they would have had in Joseph's day, and it's planted in pretty much the same way. These are poor farmers that don't have tractors. They're doing all this by hand, but the kinds of buildings, this is just made out of mud, and then they put palm trunks across the top, and just palm fronds across it. So you can see again, here are some cows like what they had back then. A couple of them are water buffalo. They didn't have that in Joseph's day, but they did have these cows. And mud bricks in this case. The other was just mud, but this is mud brick with palm trunks and leaves. That's certainly what they would have been building with in Joseph's day. So you can kind of picture what it was like in Joseph's day. There was one last thing that I thought I'd like to show you. And I took these just recently. This is grain in Egypt, so you can get an idea of what it would have been like as they did it. Again, these are poor farmers that are still using just scythes and making their little bundles there. And they would have done it like this. This is alfalfa, and they rode donkeys. These are descendants of the donkeys they had there in Joseph's day. That was their major form of hauling things, just like it is today. You can see the little guy riding with his dad on the donkey. I'm sure that happened back then. There's the tied up grain. You can see some more of it. There's a field not harvested. Here's a field harvested with all the sheaves of grain there, and just a nice little close-up of the sheaves of grain. This is the stuff Joseph was selling. So I thought you'd enjoy seeing some of those.